Hey guys, welcome back to Eric Reacts with Season 5, Episode 3 of Game of Thrones. This episode is called High Sparrow, so it looks like we're going to find out more about these religious fanatics. These are going to be like obsessive people who follow their orders no matter what, so they're also going to be easily manipulated by whoever's in charge, which is what I assume High Sparrow refers to, the person in charge. That, or this episode has Lancel smoking a lot of weed and this becomes like a drug trafficking storyline. Probably the former, though. But it'll be interesting to see what Jon Snow does as Lord Commander. He won by 1 vote, and the ones who voted for Alistair aren't happy about it at all, I think. So it'll be interesting to see how he navigates that. And then Arya, she's going to get started training. I don't know what their methods are, but they have to be pretty incredible to create people like Jaqen or ex-Jaqen or not Jaqen. I also worry about what it means to become no one. And if the Faceless Men will be okay with Arya learning their ways and then using it for her own personal revenge. And then I'm also curious about Daenerys, what she'll do after that public execution. Because she wanted to rule with fear, she's lost some of the love the citizens have for her. So she's got to find a moral compass and figure out what to do going forward. But let's get started. I'm excited. What is that?
I want to serve.
A girl wants to serve herself. Here we serve the many-faced god. To serve well,
Many-faced god?
a girl must become no one.
I see the wayward face.
There is only one god.
Oh, the god
Who
of
knows his name,
death?
and all men know his gift.
Death? So was the heart-shaped one? Wait, what? He died?
Where are they taking him?
Answer my question.
I am his, and he is mine.
Oh,
This day,
they're getting married
until
now.
the end of my days.
It all happened so fast.
Yes.
I was scared. Maybe I hurt you. It sounded.
No. You're very sweet.
This is all I want to do, all day, every day, for the rest of my life.
Wouldn't that be glorious?
Man.
Does Queen Marjorie sound strange to you?
No, it's what she's
So
always wanted.
strange. Husband.
Why?
Okay.
We're going to be very happy, you and I.
I do too.
Not if Cersei has anything to say about it.
Does your mother like it here?
Oh, trying to...
I don't think so. She told me never to trust anyone in King's Landing.
Haha.
And the horrors she's had to endure. Losing her husband, her eldest child, and her father. It's no wonder she's so protective of you. She'll never let you out of her sight.
Jeez, she's manipulating the hell out of him.
But wouldn't you be happier in Castle Rock?
She knows... Uh-oh, Cersei's here.
Mother!
Mother.
Welcome. I wish we had some wine for you. It's a bit early in the day for us.
Wow.
I'm glad to hear you're happy. Ecstatic. I really am. Exhausted, to be honest, but what could I expect? He is half lion, half stag. Day and night. Remember, anything you need.
The words are nice, but the tone is threatening. What is it going to take for you to break out of this?
I flayed him living, along with his wife and brother. Made his son watch.
And
The
Jeez.
new Lord Kerwin paid his taxes.
The best way to forge a lasting alliance isn't by peeling a man's skin off.
Marriage.
The best way is marriage.
It's high time you married a suitable bride.
Wait. No.
As it happens, I found the perfect girl to solidify our hold on the north.
No way. Littlefinger would... That's what that letter was? You gotta be kidding me.
You can't make me. I will starve myself. I will die before I have to go there.
I won't force you to do anything. Don't you know by now how much I care for you?
No.
Say the word and you sit alone in a darkened room mourning their fates. There's no justice in the world. Not unless we make it.
He's telling her to get revenge by marrying Ramsay? He has to know what Ramsay's like. There's no way he doesn't. And he manipulated her enough to do it, didn't he? That frickin' smile. And then when she grabs power, he grabs power. Damn. they're following them. Nice.
Lord Tywin heard my family name was Payne, so he pardoned me.
Wow.
Sent me to King's Landing to squire for his son.
Yes, all your lords have been very kind to you. All except me. Sorry I had to squire for such a nasty person.
I'm not sorry. You're the best fighter I've ever seen. You beat the Hound. I'm proud to be your squire.
I'm sorry I'm always snapping at you.
If you didn't snap at me, I wouldn't learn anything.
Aww. I love these two together.
Starting tomorrow, we'll train with the sword twice a day.
Nice.
Before we ride in the morning and after we make camp in the evening.
Very nice.
And
Oh,
I'm going to show you how to ride properly.
Thank you.
look how
Can't
happy
knight
he is.
you, but I can teach you how to fight.
I suppose that's more important.
I'd never been so happy.
Huh.
Till I saw a few of the boys sniggering. And then they all started to laugh. They couldn't keep the game going any longer. But Renly Baratheon took me in his arms. They're nasty little shits. And nasty little shits aren't worth crying over. He danced with me and none of the other boys could say a word. He saved me from being a joke. And I couldn't save him in return. Nothing's more hateful than failing to protect the one you love.
You're as stubborn as your father. And as honorable. I can imagine no higher praise. I didn't mean it as praise. Honor got your father killed.
The shield that guards the realms of men. I pledge my
Right,
life.
that's enough. The shield that guards the realms of men. But the best way to help the most people might not be sitting in a frozen castle at the edge of the world. It just might mean wading in the muck, getting your boots dirty, and doing what needs to be done.
He's right. But I don't know how on board the rest of the Night's Watch will be.
Who are you?
No one.
Whoa, what the
Cunt! A lie. A sad little lie. Who are you?
You're about to find out.
What are you doing? Whose sword is that? How is it that no one came to be surrounded by Arya Stark's things?
She's not getting rid of Needle. There's no way. Jon gave you that sword. It's the last thing she has left from her family. Just enough room. Fast forward to when she goes to look for it and it's gone. Is this the guy that died before?
What do we do with them after we wash them?
Eat them. Answer my questions. Why? Why? I mean, the Boltons must know how much she hates them. Oh, this woman's getting jealous.
The North remembers.
Oh. Ooh, she's got an ally already.
It's long past time to dig a new latrine pit. And I have decided to appoint a latrine captain to oversee this crucial task.
Don't do it to Alistair. He's gonna... Don't do it.
Seems like a good job for a ginger. I name you First Ranger.
Oh.
The fort is in a sorry state. Restore it as best you can. First builder Yarwick can spare 10 of
I
his...
was charged with the defense of King's Landing when you were soiling your
Oh,
swaddling
shut-
clothes.
Oh, wow.
Keep your ruin.
That was a command.
Did you hear me, boy? I will not have it!
He's gotta die,
You
right?
can stick your order up your bastard ass.
Ollie, bring me my sword.
Ooh, passing his own judgment.
I have friends, important friends in the capital. You'll see.
You have no friends here. He's still drinking his ale. Finally, this little twit is gonna die. Finally. I hate Janice so much. Are you frightened now?
My lord, please, mercy! Mercy!
I don't know how I feel after he asked for mercy. I hated him so much, but... Of course Stannis approves. Of course he does.
You have profaned our faith, the faith of our fathers and forefathers.
I am the High Septon of the...
You are a sinner.
Ah! Shame on you!
Wow.
I ask that you protect our faith by arresting these criminals and throwing them in the black cells.
We're often stuck with the names our enemies give to us.
Oh.
So they belittle me.
7 blessings to you.
7 blessings to you, my dear.
Oh.
The High Septon's behavior was corrosive, as was his attitude.
You're gonna try to ally with this group?
So now he resides in the Red Keep dungeons instead. We must do everything necessary to protect one another.
Huh. Gregor's still there? Oh, damn. Can't face her.
By the law of the land, she is no man's wife.
Hmm.
Inspect her if you must.
I leave that to the brothel keeper.
Frickin' heck.
It's her name I need, not her virtue.
Then I have delivered everything I promised.
In exchange for...
You're prepared for the consequences. The Lannisters made you one of the great lords of Westeros. Yet here you are in the north undermining them. Why gamble with your position?
Every ambitious move is a gamble. It appears that your gamble paid off. You're a warden of the north. The last time the Lords of the Eyrie formed an alliance with the Lords of the North, they brought down the greatest dynasty this world has ever known.
Still in this box. I sometimes do this on a plane. Just...
I will not be of any use to Daenerys Targaryen if I lose my mind. I can't remember the last face I saw that wasn't yours. It's a perfectly good face.
Perfect good
I'm
face.
losing my mind.
He's gonna get recognized right away, isn't he?
We should keep moving.
He gone. Oh. Uh-oh.
It's even better luck to suck a dwarf's cock.
Thank you.
Oh, look at him. He's like... Oh, freaking Tyrion.
Mother of dragons.
Yikes. She gonna awaken some dragons. Jorah?
Someone who... Where are you going? I need to speak to someone with hair. I'm sorry, I can't.
Not over Shay.
I hope it passes. What will I do in my spare time? Oh. Well, you're someone else. I'm taking you to the Queen.
He was going to the Queen already. Oh, man. The Queen, as in... Oh, Tyrion thinks Jorah's bringing him back to Cersei because he said the Queen. But there's only one Queen he follows. Oh, that's pretty good. Alright, so we started this episode at the House of Black and White and saw a bunch of statues representing gods from different faiths. But Jaqen, or not Jaqen, I'm going to call him Jaqen from now on just for the sake of it being easier. He said that there's only one god, death, but he also calls it the many-faced god. And they have all those statues of different faiths, so does that mean that death has many faces and it presents itself to different people as different gods? Or maybe manifests itself as different gods? That's an interesting take. I don't know if they have any proof that it's this way, and I wonder if they're right, or if anybody in this world is right about any god. But Jaqen hands some guy some water from a pool, and it winds up killing him. And Jaqen has shown that he can change faces really easily by taking off masks, and I'm starting to think they're made from actual human faces. So was that man someone who was like donating his face to their cause? I don't know, it's not completely clear yet. But Arya also runs into someone who seems to be quite the bully, angry that Arya got the coin without proving herself, and starts like hitting her with a stick. And then Arya's about to retaliate when Jaqen shows up to tell Arya to get rid of her things, and Arya keeps her sword though. So I'm afraid that the Faceless Men were watching and that she'll come back to get the sword at some point when she's in danger and it'll be gone. But she and the woman are tasked with watching the man Jaqen killed. That woman really doesn't like answering Arya's questions. Arya asks her a few and she's just like silent. And then we have Marjorie and Tommen's wedding. The age difference is still creepy. He's definitely happy about it, but Marjorie... This is the problem with age differences. Marjorie manipulates the hell out of him, making him feel like as long as Cersei's around, he'll always be treated as a child. She tries to get Tommen to send Cersei back to Casterly Rock, and Cersei can tell right away that Marjorie has something to do with it, and it goes to confront her in like the nicest way possible. But first Marjorie's like, oh, sorry, we don't have any wine for you. It's too early in the day for us. Either implying that Cersei has a lot of things going on that would make her want to drink, or that she's a bit of a drunk, I guess. Then she's exhausted. Then saying she's like exhausted from all the sex. Like, what did I expect? He's half stag and half lion. And I'm pretty sure that Marjorie and Cersei both know that Marjorie's aware that he's a child of incest. So she's just like continuing to twist the knife. My God. I think she needs to be a little bit more tactful though. Even though she's queen, Cersei still has power and she'll stop at nothing to get more. So, yeah, I wish Marjorie would be a little bit nicer just for her own sake. She even goes to Cersei even goes to the High Sparrow to make an alliance. And she knows that the Sparrows won't be afraid of going after the kingdom after they went after the High Septon. So I'm thinking she wants to get them to get back at Marjorie. I feel like they won't be as easy to work with as Cersei believes, though. If they were, Tywin would have been using them all along. And also, Lancel has some damning things to say about her, so yeah. The High Sparrow turns out to be just a normal man who seems to be helping the common people, but that's not what fanatics do, at least not without a cause. So, interested to find out what his motives are. And we also have some scenes in Winterfell in what I feel like is the first time in a very long while. Theon tries to ignore the flayed men hanging, and then when he sees Sansa, he tries to make sure he isn't seen by her. So he still feels guilt and shame, which in this instance is actually a good thing for me, in my opinion. Like, it means Theon is still in there, even if Reek is all that he has the courage to show right now, to be right now. I really want that redemption arc for him, and I hope he gets it at some point. I hope what Ramsay said about him having no happy ending isn't true. But we get more insight into how Tywin's death affects things. Roos's hold on the North is more tenuous since he can't rely on the Lannisters for backup. And so Sansa and Ramsay are being married off to one another. And god damn it. Sansa can't catch a freaking break. No one is on her side. The only people she can really trust in this world are maybe her siblings and maybe Blackfish Tully. Tyrion and Brienne would have her back too, but she doesn't trust them right now. I don't believe she would trust them right now. Littlefinger tries to make it seem like she's the one with the most to gain from all of this, but he's going to parlay this into something greater for himself, I'm sure. If Sansa can wrestle power from the Boltons, Littlefinger will be her ally who made this all happen. If she can't, I'm sure Cersei will find out eventually and will be none too happy to find out that Sansa is back in Winterfell out of her reach. I'm sure Littlefinger could work that in his favor somehow too. He's got contingency plans for everything, I'm sure. But like I said when I was watching, the Boltons have to know how much Sansa hates them. Why do they think she's here? Like, they have to protect themselves from retaliation from her side. Do they think Littlefinger is completely in control of her? Which I guess he kind of is. Or will they safeguard themselves from her somehow? And then Sansa's going to have to use her lying skills that she learned in King's Landing even more. King's Landing and the Vale. She's been manipulated by Littlefinger to play the game, but I think she really actually knows how to play, so it'll be interesting to see how she handles this. I just wish it didn't have to happen. But she also has to look out for Ramsay's lover, Miranda. She's jealous and has a touch of Ramsay's sadism, and maybe more than just a touch, actually. But Sansa also has an ally, the old lady who tells her that the North remembers. Though honestly, after the way Ramsay tricked Theon into thinking he was an ally, I'm not sure if I trust this old lady just yet. Or, yeah, Littlefinger and Ramsay have me so paranoid about everything in this show. Yeah, I've also actually been thinking about what else Littlefinger could have done, and I remembered the assassination attempt on Bran with the Valyrian steel dagger. And we were kind of led to believe that it was the Lannisters, that Littlefinger lost the blade to Tyrion, and I always kind of thought like maybe Cersei was okay with framing her brother and thus like used his knife to throw Tyrion under the bus. But if Littlefinger lied about losing that dagger to Tyrion, he could have been trying to worsen tensions between the Starks and the Lannisters by getting Bran killed, which I guess happened anyway, even though the assassination failed. And then I'm also wondering if Littlefinger was involved with Dorne's current predicament. Like, from history and lore, it's said that he didn't become Master of Coin until Robert became king. But did he find out about what the Mountain did to Elia and her children and then slip that information to Oberyn and Doran? Like, I definitely wouldn't put it past him. Like, that would definitely serve his agenda even now, just to have King's Landing be at odds with as many people as possible. But yeah, Roose doesn't fully trust Littlefinger, which is a good move, honestly. But Littlefinger claims he wants to ally with Roose to overthrow King's Landing, like the last time Winterfell and Eyrie allied. Which actually makes me wonder if Littlefinger has a role with the Sparrows too. Like, did he tip off the Sparrows about the High Septon's visit to his own brothels? Like, he obviously would have access to that information. And it either started a war between like the Crown and the High Sparrow, or the Sparrows, or give Cersei a dubious ally. And Littlefinger's also far away enough from the capital that he's out of range of the Sparrows' reach too. So yeah, I'm so suspicious of Littlefinger now. Everything. But yeah, close by, Brienne has finally softened on Pod, and I love their relationship so much. She's agreed to train him how to fight and ride as well, so yay. And then Brienne tells the story of how she fell for Renly. He was the only one who was kind to her, and I wonder if he remembered that when he allowed her to be part of his Kingguard, if he remembered her. Yeah, I can understand how angry she is at Stannis, and it's rough. And Stannis and Davos try to convince Jon one last time to join their cause, but Jon decides not to. But what Davos says makes a lot of sense, that the oath, the Night's Watch oath, says that they will defend the realms of men, and that the North will suffer as long as the Boltons hold it. I know Jon wants nothing more than to go, I'm sure. But he's at Castle Black instead, giving out orders to people. First the latrine pit, and then he made Alistair First Ranger, which, as far as I'm concerned, is a good move. I think Benjen held that title before him. I don't know if the show is mentioning the title of First Ranger just to remind us that Benjen might still be out there somewhere. But Janos defies Jon's orders, and Jon takes him out himself. He actually got revenge for Ned's death without even knowing it. But I hated Janos so much, but when he asked for mercy, I was just like, oh, jeez. I don't feel right about killing him. Jon does it, though, and Stannis is like, yeah, boy, good job. I don't know. I think I'd show more mercy too often to be an effective lord in this day and age. But then, finally, in Volantis, Tyrion and Varys finally arrive. I was going through in my mind, like, who here could recognize Tyrion? And my mind went to Jorah, but I didn't think he'd actually, like, be right there. It's like a pretty big coincidence. And I love how quickly Varys loses sight of Tyrion, like, twice. Like, first with the priestess, and then also later in the brothel. Yeah, that Red Priestess was spouting some theological stuff and looked at Tyrion directly. Wonder if she recognized him. Saw a vision like Melisandre is able to. And then we saw that sex worker dressed up as Daenerys, and I was just like, I'm wondering if Jorah ever slept with her, or like, would it feel too wrong for him to do that? Like, does he play out his fantasy that way? But Tyrion isn't close to being over Shay and can't sleep with that woman. I wonder if he'll ever love again on this show. That is some serious stuff he went to. I suppose he'll eventually go back to sleeping with whoever he wants sooner or later, but I'm curious if he has another love story coming up at any point. But yeah, Jorah kidnaps him. That's really big. I don't know if Jorah knows that Tyrion killed Jorah. I don't know if Jorah knows that Tyrion killed Tywin. He probably thinks of him as an enemy, and that's why he, like, kidnapped him. But then he says he'll bring Tyrion to the Queen, and I'm pretty sure Tyrion assumes that means Cersei, even though Jorah's bringing him to Daenerys. So that'll be fun to see. And so this episode, I'm going to give it a 3.5 direwolves. I really just want Sansa to be okay, but like, how many seasons do we have to wait for that? But there are a lot of interesting plot lines started this episode. Alliances being built between Littlefinger and Roose Bolton, between Cersei and the High Sparrow, and then Jorah taking Tyrion. I really want to see how all this unfolds. So anyway, guys, thanks so much for watching. If you can't wait to watch the next episode, make sure to check out the early access option on Patreon, link in the description below, or over, dang it, I always point the wrong direction, over here somewhere. I've actually got the next 3 episodes up already, so, and if you aren't subscribed already, please feel free to do that to catch up more on Game of Thrones, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye, friends.